Alright, I'm Matt Jones and I'm making an immersive RPG in Godot. And this is devlog number 7. It's been a while since I've recorded anything because I caught that thing that's been annoying the whole world for 2 years and I wasn't able to talk without coughing. Um, and I don't want to say too much about it because the video will get flagged if I say certain keywords. But anyway, some of the things I've been working on, let's look at them. And these are all just the shaders. We're showing them on screen so they get built right away, so we don't have to wait. Then we're loading the ground, and we're loading the buildings and the items and like the plants and stuff. It'll take a couple seconds. I want to show you the some of the NPCs I've been working on. This one that's going to load right in front of me here is a soldier, and he's going to want to shoot these red cans here that are all over. Here he is. Uh, I fixed the issue that I was having with NPCs. If you look at the store click here, there is animation bones and there's also physics bones, and you have to kind of marry the two together. You can notice that it's working now. Before, when they would turn, it would be out of alignment, but this is cool because now you can target individual like limbs and whatnot, and it all lines up correctly. So that's really neat. I'm glad of that. I'm glad that that works now. That was a real headache. But anyway, I use that to make this soldier, and you can see a lot of animations are missing, like he's not actually holding the hunting rifle himself. But he'll when a target gets within 100 meters, he'll turn to face it, and then he'll raise the weapon up, and then he'll actually raise it up to his eye to aim, and then shoot at it. And this hunting rifle, it's exactly the same as the players, so they all follow the same rules and like fire rate and how they work and whatnot. So I could literally take this rifle I'm holding and throw it on the ground, and the NPCs, if they wanted to, they could take it and use it, or I could take theirs and it would work correctly. So that's really cool. Right now, I'm having the barrels, once they fall off the earth here, they'll just respawn here just to make it easier. But anyway, that's cool. Let me get this guy to go to sleep there. Um, what else have I been working on? Um, oh, notice, see, it might be a little hard to see, but there's a green outline around things like this stand of this fruit stand and this table and whatnot. That's the nav mesh. That's the area that it's excluding. So the store clerk here, when he's walking around, he won't bump into those things. And the arrow that's being drawn, that's just their path. So if you look at Godot, I'm using 3.5. They updated the way the 3.5 beta. They updated the way the nav meshes work. So, for instance, our world tiles, they are 300 by 300 meters, and this is just one of the blank ones. And you'll notice that the navigation mesh instance, they have the typical bake method here, but you can't. Before, in Godot 3.4, you could only do this before the game started. You couldn't do this while you were running the game, but now they have the ability to do it at runtime in a background thread. So that's really nice. So what I did is, for instance, that cactus, this red cylinder, I just have it one of these saved here. So when the game loads, it will look at the cactus and it'll say, oh, this plant has a navigation block, which is just going to be a block that's stuck in the navigation. So it will take this cylinder out, and then it will just go back here and it will stick it in the nav mesh. And then, since we're able to do it at runtime, we have a timer here, the bake timer, and every second it'll just check and say, did you add anything new to the nav mesh? Oh, if you did, okay, then let's just call the bake navigation mesh, and then it will update the navigation mesh for us. Let me show you that running. It'll just take a second here. So when it first loads, you can see you don't see any of the outlines on anything, like on the cactuses here. But after it finishes, it'll bake the navigation mesh in the background. See, now it has the outline. So that's really cool. I'm really glad Godot has that now. It's supposed to be much improved in 4.0, so I'm looking forward to that, and we get some of those features in 3.5. Let me get rid of this guy. He's too noisy. There we go. If you look in the bottom left corner here, it's kind of hard to see, but I added a heart rate tracker. Right now it's saying the average is 76 beats per minute. So what I'm thinking is we can include that. We could include that for things like when the character's aiming, there's a wobble. So for instance, if I want to aim at that big tumbleweed down there, I'm not moving a mouse right now, but it's really wobbling a little bit. So I could then use that logic to increase the jitteriness of the aiming. So if the character's running around a lot, their aiming isn't very good. But if they're sitting idle, it will be less jittery. For instance, now if I start running, it's going up now, 79, jumping around 80 and whatnot, and 81. So it'll go up. But then if I just sit here in the shadow of this windmill and I don't move, it'll start to go down. Basically what I'm doing with that is I take 60 samples, one every second, and then I'm just saying resting is 70 beats per minute, light movement is 100 beats per minute, heavy movement is 160 beats per minute, and then I just have an array of 60, and then every time the timer fires, I remove the previous sample, and then I update what that was, and then I add it to the average. So pretty simple and efficient, because we're just using the same pool array with 60 slots, and we're just updating what's in each slot. So that's cool. And then I was thinking about, well, what about other stuff like, well, what if we have coffee items and you drink the coffee, and then that increases your jitteriness because your heart rate goes up, but your AP then will regenerate faster. Or what if there's like, I don't know, maybe a cigarette, you smoke the cigarette, that makes you relax, your heart rate goes down. But I don't know, just maybe something I could do in the future. Just thinking about I added light switches, so now I can hook that up to electronics, and then I can turn them on and off. So for instance, in the store here, I have the ceiling turned off, or the roof invisible, so now it's just easier to see. There's these 4 ceiling lights. Now if I go up to here, we have a nice context menu, and I can just turn those on and off. So now that leads to interesting things that we could do. For instance, if it's night out, I could sneak in here and turn the lights out, and that could make it so the NPCs can't see. What else? I added a moon because we have a sun that gives us light during the day. We might as well have a moon that that gives us a little bit of light at nighttime, depending on. Let me load it up here. Change it to night. Now once everything loads, oh wait, it's sunset. Let me load that again. It'll just take a couple seconds. Okay, so now it's dark, and you can see right now I have the phases of the moon switching really quickly. Obviously it wouldn't be like this, it would take days for it to change, but if you look at the train down here at the bottom, the light reflecting off the moon is actually a light source that gives us light down here. Because so when there's no light at all reflecting, it's really dark. But then I think it's called a new moon. But then when it's a full moon, there's a lot more ambient light here. So that could also add a lot of interesting immersive elements. So you can like do certain things when there's more moonlight and you have more light outside. But then when it's a new moon and there's no light, NPCs and whatnot won't be able to see as much, so it'll be a lot darker. But that's cool. What else have I been doing? Oh, I added a few more items. Let me load it up here. Um, One of the things I wanted to have on doors was like booby traps. So I added a tripwire. Let's see, it hasn't loaded yet. It'll take a couple seconds. There we go. So now here's a tripwire. If I open the door and I go through here, it will just trip the trap. And right now it's not hooked up to anything, but that's a cool thing we could do. Like maybe I could hook it up to a flashbang or a grenade or who knows what, like a noisemaker or who knows, whatever. But that opens up a lot of cool possibilities. Let me drive the car over to here. Oh, one of the things I added to the car is tire tire tracks. So when it loses traction, it will leave tracks behind. I need to do a bit more work, and it doesn't make sense that it's doing right now because this is dirt. Oh, I also adjusted it so that since we're on dirt, the car, if you look up in the top right corner, the miles per hour is only like 30 miles per hour because we're on dirt. We have a lot less traction. But if we then go over on this asphalt, we should be able to go much faster because we have more traction. It's smoother. Here we're going 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. But then if we go on the dirt, we're gonna skid out, and it makes tracks. So that's really cool. One of the things I need to investigate is more on how to do this. I also added lots of little items, like for instance, here's a billboard and a speed limit sign, 55 miles per hour. Let's see here. Let me get the player over here. Oh, geez, the player hit the car. I need to, yeah, well, whatever. The car. I moved the player to the car's position. I added a billboard with ladders, so now the player can go up the ladder, and obviously there's no animations and whatnot yet, but that's cool. So now we have like a billboard where we can camp out up here and have like a secret little like base, or there could be items or whatnot, but that's cool. And maybe I could put something on the sides of the billboard, and these round things are lights, so at nighttime it will shine lights on the billboard, because that's something that you see in the deserts. They just have a bunch of billboards in the middle of the desert next to a road. Where'd my car go? Okay, here it is. Let's see. I can go a lot faster in reverse. That's one of the things I need to work on. What else is left to do? I added one of the things I want to do is have like, since this takes place in like an economic apocalypse, it's like, well, okay, then the military doesn't have that much money and they're gonna have to kind of be creative. So this is a freeway overpass, and I want all of these soldiers here to just like occupy it, because that would be like a cool thing to control, because then you can control the cars going through the freeway and all the roads, and you have like elevated position. There's only this side and this side, so that's two entrances to this freeway overpass, so they can control it a lot more a lot better, and they can have like maybe like a little guard shack up here, and so that's one of the things I'm going to be working on next. Right now, all these soldiers, they're just going to like walk around and patrol, and if they see any things like a bird maybe or a coyote, they'll shoot it, or like a soda can, and they'll just look out up here for now. But that's one of the things I'm going to be working on more, because that's kind of an important thing I'm planning for a lot of the missions, because you can do jobs for the soldiers and like whatnot. Um, that's neat. This, you notice that they're using the nav mesh still, even though this is not flat. Like there's slopes here. Let me get the player over here. There we go. Um, so for instance, see this guy? He's coming up the slope, and that was really kind of a pain to figure out how to do the nav meshes. Like for instance, they would often get stuck on the corner here when they wanted to go up around. So what I would do, let me show you the overpass. So basically what I did is where is it? On the nav mesh blocks, I would just put cubes here on the corner, so that way those would be subtracted for the nav mesh, and they wouldn't want to run into the corner. They would just be like going around like this. And then for the slopes, these are just boxes that have been moved into place to like roughly in the position of where the slopes are. So that's cool. Now I have like I have it so enemies, or so any NPCs can like go up slopes. They can go around obstacles. They won't get stuck on things. Like for instance, one of the thing I've seen in a bunch of like games that just came out, like I think it was the Battlefield games, NPCs would get stuck under like here if they get under like stairs and slopes and stuff when trying to go around. So we have this area subtracted from the nav mesh, so they won't do that. They'll mostly go up to like here. So that's really cool. This opens up a lot of neat possibilities. What else have I been up to? I think that's pretty much it. Um, like I said, that we've got a lot of cool stuff in place now. I want to see if I can start adding like missions, um, maybe some animations and whatnot. And obviously, there's some optimization. Like right now, all these little water puddles you see here are like really tanking performance. I need to do some stuff to that. Um, Add some more types of NPCs, and just see if I can start adding missions and whatnot. But anyway, um, if you guys want to know more about any specific features, let me know. Leave a comment, whatever. If you want to see any code of how I did any specific stuff, let me know. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.